Hello you guys, and welcome back to part 2 of Haunted Hometown of 29 Palms, California. If you guys haven't seen the first one, go watch the first one. It's super cool and spooky, just like all the rest of them. Go watch all of them, and while you're at it, subscribe to this channel. I put out all types of different kinds of videos. I love so many different things. I don't have a specific category that I fall into, so just subscribe and I'm cool, I swear. So yeah, if you guys did watch the last one, you did notice that basically all of these stories are revolving around the base in 29 Palms. Probably particularly because the base makes up just about the entire population of the city. And while I'm discussing that as well, I did live in 29 Palms with my husband when we were first married. I did have my own experiences. I'm going to leave them at the end of this video. So when you guys are done, just go ahead and click on those and you can watch them yourself. They are, I don't necessarily think they're military related like all of the ones that I've read so far. I think they're more of like miners and stuff in my personal opinion, or just like an entity of some sort. I'd never really experienced like a residual military person there. I don't know what I really experienced. I could have just been going crazy. But yeah, without further ado, I'm gonna get started so you guys don't click away. So the first story. We live on base in 29 Palms, and once my husband deployed for 4 months after we moved in, weird things would start to happen. It was just my 15-month-old daughter, Pug, and myself here. I would hear heavy footsteps coming upstairs late at night as though my husband came home. That would happen to me. Nobody would be there. The toilets would flush by themselves and housing came to replace them, and they would still do it. Also around 3:30 a.m. exactly, I would hear our garbage disposal turn on downstairs. It scared the daylights out of me since my bedroom is directly above the kitchen sink. Another time, I was picking up clothes from the laundry room, which leads to the garage, and the garage door bent in towards me and sucked back and latched. What? What? Ooh, that's weird. I had a friend over for the rest of the day. I would too. Later that night, I went to drive her home, and it sounded as though somebody with combat boots kicked the garage door from the inside as we walked past it. The entire time my husband was gone, these things continued to happen. My daughter, who has slept through the night since she was 4 weeks old, would wake up screaming in the middle of the night. I would go in to find her shaking, crying, and pointing to her door. I found out from housing that several families had lived in this unit because a couple years ago a Marine returned from deployment to hang himself in the garage while his wife was at the commissary. Things have calmed down since my husband got back, but freaky things still happen from time to time. Oh my god, if that's true, that somebody hung themselves in that house, that's incredibly sad. Unfortunately, when we moved here to Camp Pendleton, a couple days after we moved in, somebody committed suicide a couple houses over. And I think somebody has moved into that house since then, and like, I can't imagine living in a house like that. I mean, quite frankly, it could have happened in this house and they wouldn't have told us. Since we're in military quarters, they don't have to disclose that type of thing, I don't think. I'm not sure. I don't know the legality of it. But that's so sad. Like, oh, I just hope that that person can like move on and get out. But next story. So, Campbell Hill off Joe Davis, where it turns to dirt. Make a right turn up any dirt road into a small canyon. Need 4-wheel drive. Take recorder for EVPs and a mag meter. Best if you do your investigation before dark. I picked up flute music and drums. Very low sound. I played a drum and asked any Indian spirits to talk to us or make a noise. We got one. Could not believe it. This hill must have been sacred to the first Americans. Okay, that's cool. That's the first one that's not military related. And I believe it. That's definitely a possibility for that area. All right, next story. So this one goes, oh, what am I doing? What am I doing right now? It's nice to see that I'm not alone when it comes to the space. And when I was 4, my stepdad was a Marine stationed in 29 Palms. His name was Kirby, and he I'm cutting out his last name. He gives the last name, but I don't want to give it to you guys. His name was Kirby. He and my mom had plenty of stories about that place, but their stories had nothing on mine. One night, everyone was asleep, and I had woken up to see an Indian chief throwing what appeared to be flowers from a bag. What? Appeared to be flowers from a bag. It scared me so much that I went back to Maricopa to live with my grandma. My story isn't action-packed, but it's 100% true. My mom says the base is built on an Indian burial ground. If so, that could explain a lot. So he just saw someone, like, taking flowers out and throwing them, I guess. Oh, that's funny. And it's funny to say this, like, I'm not alone. No, you're not alone. People think that place is creepy AF. Okay. All right, next story. I lived in a house on Desert Queen Avenue, 1 block north of AM/PM. While in the house, there were instances of us seeing a little boy in our house. There was a figure that looked in the room from down the hall by the living room, and the 2 years I was there was a loud pounding on the walls. First time it was around 3 a.m. Second time it was around 8 p.m. in the evening during winter. And the last time I and family friends experienced it was around 6 p.m. in the winter. We would also hear whispers. Around doing research, found out from a firefighter a child was run over at the intersection, but I can't explain the rest, and was told someone had their throat cut on the back porch. I was always optimistic about seeing and experiencing paranormal stuff, but I am now a firm believer. I would be too, shit. Ooh. Okay. My husband was stationed in 29 where we lived with our daughter. 2 weeks after moving in, I heard the sound of crashing dishes in the kitchen, but nothing was out of place. Then our daughter's toys started playing music all on their own. On one notable time, it was around midnight, a tabletop toy started playing Mary Had a Little Lamb. I could hear it on the baby monitor. I pulled the toy from her room and it wouldn't stop repeating the song. I had to turn the toy off and pull the batteries. Then, after we adopted a dog, she would bark at the hallway and then try and hide under the bed. I was very glad when we PCS'd. Alright guys, this is the last one, so this part 2 is going to be super, super short, but while I was staying with a friend, her and her husband in 29 Palms, I repeatedly heard crunching footsteps in their kitchen late at night. I couldn't see anything, just the footsteps. My friend's husband is a medium and he sees ghosts all the time, and he also has some following him constantly. I think this may have been a ghost of his. Ooh, yeah, no thank you. Alright guys, so that is all for 29 Palms scary ghost stories. I thought it was interesting that these ones were more based on the just general paranormal, like Native Americans, or just general like people who died, like kids and stuff. Unfortunately, I say that so like nonchalantly, but that's really sad. But rather than like for part 1 is like really military heavy. So yeah, if you guys like these types of videos, please give it a thumbs up. It really, really helps me. And subscribe. Like I said, I put out all types of stuff. Like, just be here, be chill, I'm cool, I swear. That's so not cool. That's not a cool thing to say. But yeah, I hope you guys have a fantastic time. Stay safe, stay spooky. Have a good one.